Hello everyone, this is your friend Naruto Fix, and we are back with another epic What If Naruto fanfic. Which is, what if Naruto fell in love with Temari and even the Nine Tails Part 2. If you love Naruto fanfics, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the journey with me. So, let's start the fanfic. Konoha's sun had barely risen when Tsunade slammed her desk with a scroll. Naruto, you've got a mission with Temari. High risk, sand and leaf cooperation. Naruto blinked. Huh, Temari again. Tsunade smirked. Don't act surprised. The alliance between Konoha and Tsunade is fragile, and I trust you too, more than anyone. Inside, Kurama growled. TCH, or she just knows you're an idiot who gets into trouble. Quote, Naruto clenched his fists. Oi, Fox, shut up. I'll handle it. Temari entered, her giant fan strapped across her back, golden hair catching the light. She raised a brow. You ready, loudmouth? Naruto grinned nervously. Hey, always. But in his chest, his heart beat faster, not from nerves about the mission, but because of her. Departure. They set off across the desert plains, Temari leading with her confident stride, Naruto a step behind, occasionally stealing glances. Kurama's voice echoed. Pathetic. You're drooling, brat. You confessed already, didn't you? What's the hesitation? Naruto flushed. It's not that easy. What if she already accepted you, fool? The real question is, will she accept me watching every moment? Quote, Naruto groaned. Temari glanced back. You talking to yourself again? Naruto scratched his head. Why yeah, training stuff, you know. Temari smirked. You're hopeless. Ambush. By midday, a sandstorm rolled in. Visibility dropped, winds howled. That's when the enemy struck. Black-cloaked shinobi leapt from the storm, blades flashing. Naruto's instincts flared. Temari, behind you. Her fan swung wide, releasing slicing wind that shredded two attackers instantly. But more poured in. Too many, she hissed. Kurama's chakra surged. Let me out, Naruto. These weaklings aren't worth your patience. Naruto nodded. Alright, let's go, Kurama. His eyes flared crimson, whisker marks darkened, and a cloak of bubbling chakra enveloped him. The enemy faltered at the sight, fear spreading. The fight. Temari's wind blasts merged with Naruto's fiery chakra slashes, carving through the ambush like a storm of fire and wind. But one enemy was different, a masked shinobi with sealing tags. He targeted Temari, aiming to bind her movements. Naruto roared, darting forward with Kurama's chakra-enhanced speed. Don't touch her. The seal nearly hit, but Naruto intercepted, taking the blast full-on. Pain seared through him as sealing marks crawled across his skin. Naruto. Temari screamed, rushing toward him. Kurama snarled inside. Damn it, brat. He's trying to cut me off from you. Don't you dare let this happen. Quote, Bond tested. Naruto collapsed to one knee, his body trembling. Temari caught him, holding him upright. Her eyes blazed with fury. You think you can take him from me? With a furious cry, she swung her fan, unleashing a hurricane that blasted the ceiling shinobi miles away, tearing the and storm apart. Naruto coughed, struggling to stay conscious. Mari. She tightened her grip. Don't you dare give up. Not after you made me fall for you. Inside, Kurama roared, pouring his chakra into Naruto. Wake up, brat. You can't leave her, or me, like this. Naruto's eyes snapped open, blazing with crimson fire. His chakra flared brighter than before, breaking the seal. Awakening. The enemy scattered, terrified. The sealing shinobi fled, realizing he couldn't contain the Nine Tails' wrath. Naruto stood tall again, Temari beside him, both breathing hard. Temari glared at him. You idiot. Don't you dare throw yourself away like that again. Quote, Naruto grinned weakly. Sorry, couldn't let them hurt you. Kurama grumbled. Or me. Don't forget that part. Temari's expression softened. She touched his hand lightly. We fight together, Naruto. Always. Naruto's cheeks flushed. He nodded. Yeah, always. Night camp. That night, they set up camp in the desert. A small fire crackled between them. Naruto sat quietly, staring at the flames. Temari finally broke the silence. You really meant it, what you said before. About loving me, and him too. Naruto looked up, startled. Why yeah, I wasn't lying. You both mean too much to me. Temari studied him for a long moment, then smiled faintly. Good, because I don't share easily. But for you, I'll try. Kurama chuckled deep inside. Ha, looks like she's fiercer than you, brat. Naruto blushed, scratching his head. Guess I'm lucky, huh? Temari leaned closer, her eyes glinting in the firelight. You're more than lucky, Naruto. You're mine now. Kurama's amused growl rumbled. And mine. Don't forget that. Naruto laughed nervously, caught between two forces that loved him, one human, one beast. But for the first time, he didn't feel torn. He felt whole. 9/24, 12:44 p.m. Vivavat, the jealous fox. The desert night was calm, but inside Naruto, Kurama stirred. So, brat, you're really letting her call you hers? The fox growled, his voice dripping with irritation. Naruto sighed. Kurama, you know it's not like that. You both mean something to me. Can't you just accept it? Accept it. Kurama's eyes glowed in the darkness of Naruto's mindscape. She's a human, Naruto. Fragile. Temporary. I've been with you your whole life. And now you're letting her sit closer, touch you, make you weak. Naruto clenched his fists. She doesn't make me weak. She makes me stronger, just like you do. Quote. For once, Kurama had no immediate comeback. His tail twitched in frustration. HMPH. We'll see how long that lasts. Temari's concern. Meanwhile, Temari studied Naruto from across the campfire. He looked distracted, eyes distant. She knew he was talking to the Nine Tails again. She threw a pebble at him, hitting his shoulder. Oi, you spacing out on me. Naruto blinked, rubbing his shoulder. Huh, sorry. Kurama's being, Kurama. Temari smirked. Figures. He's not exactly the sharing type, is he? Naruto scratched his cheek nervously. He'll come around, I hope. Temari leaned forward, her gaze sharp. Naruto, I'm not asking you to choose. But don't let him think he owns you completely. You're more than his vessel, you're you. Naruto's chest tightened at her words. She always saw through him, cutting right to the truth. A sudden attack. Before he could reply, the ground beneath them trembled. The fire sputtered, sand shifting violently. Temari jumped to her feet, fans snapping open. Earth Jutsu. From the dunes rose massive stone constructs, humanoid golems with glowing seals etched across their bodies. Naruto's eyes widened. What the? A voice echoed from the darkness. The Nine Tails vessel, and the sand kunoichi. Both in one place. Perfect. Masked shinobi emerged, far more organized than the earlier ambush. Their leader held a scroll glowing with sealing energy. Kurama snarled inside. They're after me again. Let me crush them, Naruto. Naruto gritted his teeth. We'll fight together, Kurama. With Temari. Quote. Wind and fire. The golems surged forward. Temari leapt into the air, fan sweeping wide. Wind scythe jutsu. Blades of cutting air ripped into the stone giants, shattering limbs. But more kept rising. Naruto charged, chakra flaring into a blazing cloak. He struck one golem with a fox-shaped chakra fist, pulverizing it. Temari landed beside him, panting. They just keep coming. Kurama roared. Stop holding back. Show them our true power. Naruto felt the pull of deeper chakra, the dangerous temptation of more tails. But Temari's voice steadied him. Naruto, focus. Control it, you're not alone. Bond in battle. He looked at her, her determination fierce, unwavering. Something inside him clicked. All right, let's do this together. Naruto and Temari moved in perfect sync, her wind amplifying his chakra flames, creating scorching whirlwinds that devoured the golems in a storm of fire and slicing air. The masked shinobi stumbled back, stunned at the sheer destructive force of the combined assault. Impossible, their powers merged. Naruto grinned through the sweat. Believe it, Databio. Kurama's growl echoed, but it carried pride. Not bad, brat. Not bad at all. Aftermath. When the last golem crumbled, silence returned. The enemy retreated, their leader glaring before vanishing into the dunes. Naruto dropped to one knee, exhausted. Temari caught him before he could fall. "You're reckless," she muttered, but her voice trembled. Naruto looked up, smiling weakly. "Reckless, but alive. Thanks to you." She held him close for a moment longer than necessary. Then she pulled back, cheeks faintly pink. "Don't scare me like that again." Inside, Kurama huffed. "TCH. I don't like how close she's getting." Naruto whispered back. "Get used to it, fuzzball. She's not going anywhere." 9/24, 12:45 p.m. Vivavat, firelight tension. The campfire burned low, the desert wind soft. Naruto sat hunched, roasting a skewer of dried meat Temari had brought from Suna. She sat across from him, hair loose for once, golden strands shimmering in the firelight. It felt almost normal. Too normal. Naruto broke the silence. "Hey, thanks, back there. I couldn't have done it without you." Temari smirked faintly. "Of course you couldn't. You'd have gotten yourself killed twice over if I wasn't there to bail you out." Naruto laughed nervously, scratching the back of his head. "Yeah, probably." But inside, Kurama rumbled. "HMPH. She thinks you're weak without her. Pathetic. You've survived worse because of me." Naruto frowned slightly, mind answering. "Kurama, she's not wrong. You saved me, sure. But she fights by my side. That matters too." Temari caught the shift in his expression. "Talking to him again, huh?" Naruto winced. "Yeah, he's opinionated." Temari leaned closer, her eyes narrowing. "Then tell him this, Naruto's not just a vessel. He's his own person, and if the fox can't respect that, he'll have to deal with me." Kurama's snarl. Kurama's crimson eyes opened wide in Naruto's mindscape, his tails lashing. "Did she just threaten me? Through you?" Naruto gulped. Kinda, yeah. Bold for a human. She forgets I could end her in a heartbeat." Naruto shook his head firmly. "No, you won't. You care about me. And if you care about me, you'll accept her too." For a long moment, Kurama's growl shook the air. Then, surprisingly, he chuckled. "You've grown, brat. Talking back to me without flinching. Maybe, that's her influence." Naruto blinked. "Wait, you're complimenting her. Don't push it." A close moment. Temari shifted closer, sitting beside Naruto now, her shoulder brushing his. The warmth made his face flush. "You know," she said softly, "I never thought I'd feel like this. Not with you. But today, when you threw yourself in front of that seal for me, I realized something." Naruto turned, heart pounding. What? Temari hesitated, then looked him dead in the eye. "I don't want to lose you. Ever." Naruto froze. Kurama was silent for once, letting the moment hang heavy. Naruto's lips curved into a nervous smile. "Guess we're both stuck with each other, huh?" Temari's hand brushed his, lingering there. "Yeah, stuck." The fire crackled, the desert stars endless above. For the first time, Naruto leaned into the closeness instead of pulling away. Enemy's shadow. But peace was short-lived. Beyond the dunes, unseen, the masked shinobi leader from earlier knelt before his master. "Lord, the Nine-Tails vessel and the Sand Kunoichi fight in perfect sync. Our initial attempts failed," a deep voice replied from the shadows. "No matter. They've revealed their bond. That bond will be their weakness. We'll tear it apart, him from the fox, him from the girl, and claim the Nine-Tails for ourselves." The leader bowed. "Yes, master." The desert wind carried their plotting away, toward the unsuspecting camp where Naruto and Temari laughed softly under the stars. 9/24, 12:47 p.m. Vivavat. What if Naruto fell in love with Temari and even the Nine-Tails? Part 2 continued. Morning resolve. The next morning, sunlight spilled over the dunes. Temari stretched, pulling her fan onto her back, while Naruto rubbed his eyes and yawned. "You look like you barely slept," she teased. Naruto grinned sheepishly. "Yeah, Kurama kept grumbling all night." Inside, Kurama scoffed. Don't blame me, brat. I was keeping watch. Unlike you, I don't need sleep. Quote. Temari smirked. Good. Then he can't complain when I drag you into training. Naruto groaned. Training? We're already on a mission. She crossed her arms. Exactly. And after yesterday, it's clear we need better teamwork. You and me. And him. Naruto blinked. Wait, you mean? Kurama growled. She wants me to cooperate. Ha. This should be interesting. Training the triangle. They moved to a flat stretch of desert. Temari planted her fan into the sand. Alright, here's the deal. Naruto, your raw power is insane, but it's wild. Kurama, if you're listening, you make him reckless. I'll provide control and direction. Together, we'll turn chaos into strategy. Quote. Naruto tilted his head. I think that's a compliment. Kurama chuckled. She has spirit. Fine. Show me what you've got, girl. Temari inhaled sharply, realizing he'd spoken directly through Naruto this time. So the Great Nine Tails can talk to someone besides his vessel. Naruto's voice deepened with Kurama's resonance. Don't get used to it. I'm only humoring you. Temari smirked, unfazed. Good. Then humor me by keeping him alive. Quote. Naruto's grin widened. Alright, let's do this. The exercise. Temari launched a slicing wind blade toward Naruto. He dodged, barely, Kurama's chakra flaring around him. Too slow. Temari shouted, swinging her fan again. Naruto countered with a chakra arm, batting the wind aside, but the rebound nearly knocked him over. Kurama barked in his head. Idiot. Flow with her wind, don't fight it. Naruto growled. Flow with it. What does that even? Temari spun, unleashing a whirlwind. Naruto instinctively poured chakra into the gust, transforming it into a blazing vortex of fire and crimson light. Both froze, eyes widening. Temari blinked. Did we just combine jutsu? Naruto grinned in awe. That was awesome. Kurama's tail swished proudly inside. HMPH. Not bad. Maybe you're worth tolerating after all, Kunoiki. Temari smirked. I'll take that as a compliment. The ambush. But the breakthrough didn't go unnoticed. From the dunes, chakra signatures flared, stronger than before. Naruto's head snapped up. They're back. Figures in dark cloaks emerged, dozens this time. The masked leader stepped forward, scroll glowing ominously. You cannot hide from us, Jinchuriki. Your power will be ours. And your precious bond, his eyes flicked to Temari. Will shatter. Temari gripped her fan tightly. Over my dead body. Naruto's eyes blazed. You'll regret touching her. Kurama's voice thundered. Let's end this, brat. All out battle. The desert erupted into chaos. Temari's wind scythes carved through waves of attackers. Naruto charged forward cloaked in blazing chakra, smashing enemies aside with titanic force. The masked leader unfurled his scroll. Sealing chains shot out, wrapping around Naruto's arms. Naruto! Temari cried, slamming her fan into the ground. A tornado blasted the chains, loosening them, but more swarmed in. Kurama roared. I won't be chained again. His chakra flared violently, tails erupting behind Naruto. The sheer force shattered the bindings, sending shockwaves across the battlefield. Temari stumbled, shielding her eyes from the sandstorm. Naruto, control it. Naruto's voice was distorted, Kurama's fury bleeding through. I won't let them take me. Temari's plea. Seeing him losing control, Temari ran straight into the storm, grabbing his hand. Naruto, look at me. His crimson eyes met hers, wild and feral. You're not alone. You've got me, and him. You don't have to fight like this. Her voice cut through the haze. Naruto's breathing slowed, Kurama's rage tempered by her unwavering grip. Kurama's growl softened. She's keeping you grounded. HMPH. Maybe she's worth more than I thought. Naruto's chakra steadied, the violent tails retracting into a controlled cloak. He squeezed Temari's hand, clarity returning to his eyes. Thanks, Temari. Quote. She smiled fiercely. Always. Turning the tide. Together, they unleashed their new combo, Temari's whirlwind feeding Naruto's chakra flames, creating a blazing inferno that devoured the battlefield. Enemies screamed as the desert itself seemed to ignite. The masked leader barely escaped, retreating with scorched robes. "This isn't over," he spat, vanishing into the dunes. The remaining shinobi scattered, broken by the overwhelming display. Aftermath. The battlefield fell silent. Naruto collapsed to one knee, breathing hard. Temari rushed to his side, supporting him. "You idiot," she muttered, voice trembling. "You nearly lost yourself again." Quote, Naruto chuckled weakly. "But I didn't. Because of you." Inside, Kurama's voice rumbled low. "And me. Don't forget me, brat." Naruto smiled faintly. "Never." Temari's eyes softened. For a moment, she leaned closer, her forehead pressing against his. "Good. Because I'm not letting you go either." The bond between the three solidified, not fragile, not rivalrous, but powerful. Cliffhanger. Far away, in a hidden cavern, the masked leader knelt before a shadowy figure. They are stronger together than expected. The Nine Tails, the girl, even their combined jutsu, dangerous. The figure's voice was cold, merciless. "Then we'll break them. Find their weakness. Use their bond against them." Quote, the leader bowed. "Yes, master." As the desert stars shimmered above Naruto and Temari's camp, neither knew the storm that awaited them. 9/24, 12:50 p.m., Vivavat, nightfall after the battle. The desert air was cooler now, the chaos of the fight replaced by silence. Naruto lay back against the sand, staring at the stars while Temari sat nearby, cleaning her fan. "You know," she said softly, "you're reckless." Quote, Naruto laughed faintly. "You're the second person to say that today." Kurama rumbled inside. "And I'll keep saying it until it gets through that thick skull of yours." Temari smirked. "Well, at least you've got two voices of reason in your head now." Quote, Naruto glanced at her, eyes warm. "Yeah, and both of them keep me alive." Temari froze for a second at the raw sincerity in his tone, but quickly hid her reaction, turning away with a light scoff. "Don't get used to it, idiot." Quote, Mission tension. The next day, they resumed travel toward the Wind Daimyo's palace. But the battle had left its mark, not just physically, but emotionally. Temari found herself sneaking glances at Naruto when she thought he wasn't looking. The way he laughed despite exhaustion. The way his eyes softened when he looked at her. And each time, Kurama's amused growl echoed. "Careful, girl. The brat's heart is easy to stir, but if you break it, you'll answer to me." Quote, Temari snapped back, muttering under her breath. "I don't plan on breaking anything." Naruto blinked. "Huh." She quickly waved him off. "Nothing. Focus on walking straight, you'll trip on a rock at this rate." Quote, A dangerous stop. By evening, they reached a desert outpost. A small tavern welcomed travelers, though most patrons eyed Naruto suspiciously. Rumors of the Nine Tails still followed him like a shadow. Naruto frowned at the glares. "Guess I'll never get used to this." Temari slid into the seat beside him, unfazed. "Then let them glare. They'll choke on their own fear when they see what you're capable of." Quote, he blinked at her, surprised by her fierce tone. His chest warmed. "Thanks, Temari." Their moment was cut short when the tavern doors slammed open. The same masked leader strode in, flanked by elite shinobi cloaked in black. "Running won't save you, Jinchuriki," he declared. "This time, you won't escape." Betrayal in the outpost. The tavern erupted into chaos as civilians fled. Temari leapt to her feet, fan snapping open. Naruto braced himself, Kurama's chakra humming at the edge of his control. But this time, the enemy had help. A hidden seal beneath the tavern floor flared, spreading chains of chakra that lashed upward, ensnaring Naruto before he could react. "Not again!" Naruto roared, struggling as the chains burned against his cloak. Temari rushed forward, slicing the bindings with wind blades, but they only regenerated, wrapping tighter around Naruto's arms and chest. The masked leader smirked. "We planned for your beast's tantrum. But your companion," his gaze shifted to Temari, "she's just leverage." Two shinobi lunged at Temari, forcing her back. "Temari!" Naruto shouted, panic in his voice. Kurama's anger. Inside, Kurama snarled. Enough. I will not be bound again. His chakra surged violently, shaking the tavern walls. But the ceiling chains were reinforced, fueled by the scroll the masked leader carried. For the first time, Kurama's strength faltered. Damn it, these seals, they're ancient. If they complete this ritual, brat, they'll tear me out of you. Naruto's breath quickened. And if that happens, Kurama growled darkly, you die, and so do I. Temari's choice. Seeing Naruto pinned and Kurama straining, Temari made a desperate choice. She spread her fan wide and unleashed her strongest technique, Wind Scythe Jutsu, amplified with every ounce of chakra she had. The tavern exploded into a storm of blades, cutting through walls, scattering enemies, and slicing at the chains binding Naruto. The effort drained her completely. She collapsed to her knees, gasping, but the final chain snapped apart. Naruto burst free, chakra cloak blazing like fire. His eyes locked on Temari, pale and exhausted on the ground. Something inside him broke. The transformation. Kurama's voice roared through him. Then let's show them what happens when they threaten what's ours. Naruto's cloak erupted into full tails, 3, then 4, burning with raw fury. His roar shook the desert, the tavern obliterated in an instant. The masked leader staggered back, eyes wide. This isn't possible. But it was. Naruto moved like a storm, scattering the enemy forces in seconds. Each strike was precise, fueled by fury, but not blind. Temari's words still anchored him, keeping him from losing control entirely. The masked leader barely managed to retreat again, vowing vengeance. His forces were crushed, his scroll cracked. Aftermath in the sand. Silence fell once more. Naruto stood trembling, the cloak fading as his breathing slowed. He turned to Temari, who was barely conscious. Temari. He rushed to her side, lifting her gently. Her eyes fluttered open. You did it. Naruto shook his head, tears threatening. No, we did it. You saved me again. Inside, Kurama rumbled quietly. She risked everything for you, brat. Don't waste that. Naruto smiled faintly, clutching Temari close. I won't, ever. Cliffhanger. From the shadows of the desert, the masked leader watched with narrowed eyes, his cracked scroll glowing faintly. The two strong together. If brute force won't work, his tone turned venomous. Then we'll tear them apart from within. The wind howled across the dunes, carrying with it the promise of trials yet to come. Naruto, Temari, and Kurama's bond had grown unbreakable, or so it seemed. But their enemies now knew the truth. The greatest strength could also be the greatest weakness. 9/24, 12:51 p.m., Vivavat, Sandstorm Shelter. Hours after the battle at the tavern, Naruto carried Temari on his back through the dunes. Her breathing was steady but shallow, chakra exhaustion had drained her nearly to unconsciousness. Hang on, Temari, Naruto whispered, tightening his grip. I'll find us shelter. Kurama's deep voice rumbled inside. There's a cave formation ahead. To the left. Move before she collapses entirely. Naruto nodded and pressed forward. Within minutes, he found a hollow carved into a cliff face, shielded from the raging desert winds. He set Temari down gently against the stone wall. She stirred weakly, her eyes opening just enough to see him kneeling in front of her. You're still carrying me. Naruto smiled, though his eyes were heavy with worry. Of course. What? You thought I'd just leave you lying in the sand? Temari managed a faint chuckle. Idiot. Then she slumped back into rest. Silent watch. As night fell, Naruto built a small fire using scraps of wood from the tavern ruins he'd gathered along the way. He sat across from Temari, watching her chest rise and fall. Kurama's presence loomed in his mind. She risked her life without hesitation. I've seen countless shinobi, brat, but this girl, she's something else. Quote, Naruto's fists clenched. She's strong. Stronger than people give her credit for. But she shouldn't have to throw herself in danger just to save me. Kurama chuckled low. She did it because she wanted to. Because she cares. That's what bonds do, they make people fight harder than logic allows. Naruto stared into the fire, realizing the truth in those words. His heart thudded at the thought. I can't lose her, Kurama. Not like this. Then don't, the fox growled. Protect her, and if anyone dares to take her, we'll tear them apart together. The morning after, when Temari finally woke, she found Naruto sitting by the fire with heavy circles under his eyes. You didn't sleep? She asked softly. Naruto grinned sheepishly. Had to keep watch. Besides, you looked peaceful. Her cheeks warmed, though she masked it quickly with her usual sharp tone. Idiot, you need rest too. Quote, Kurama laughed inside. You two are hopeless. Just kiss already. Naruto's face went red. Shut up, fuzzball. Temari frowned. What? Nothing. Naruto waved his hands wildly. Enemy shadows. Unbeknownst to them, the masked leader had not retreated far. Hidden within the dunes, he activated his cracked scroll, whispering an incantation. The fragments glowed, weaving threads of chakra that slithered across the desert like snakes. Let their bond deepen, he hissed. The tighter it becomes, the easier it will be to break. The shadows spread, preparing to ensnare their next target, Temari. A confession interrupted. By noon, Temari had regained some strength. She stood at the cave mouth, gazing at the endless sands. Naruto joined her, rubbing the back of his neck awkwardly. Hey, Temari, he began, voice nervous. She raised a brow. What is it? Naruto hesitated, Kurama silently urging him on. Say it, brat. You'll regret it if you don't. I wanted to say. But before he could finish, a violent explosion ripped across the desert. Sand surged like a tidal wave, and masked shinobi emerged from the storm. They found us, Temari shouted, snapping her fan open. Naruto growled. Not again. Temari targeted. This time, the attackers didn't rush Naruto. Instead, they focused on Temari. Chains of sealing chakra shot out, wrapping around her arms and legs before she could react. Her fan clattered to the ground as she was yanked backward. Temari! Naruto roared, lunging forward, only to be blocked by a wall of shinobi. The masked leader's voice echoed through the storm. The Nine Tails will rage if his anchor is taken. And rage makes him weak. Kurama snarled. They're after her to get to you. Don't fall into their trap, brat. But Naruto's fury was already igniting. Kurama's reluctant plan. As Naruto struggled, Kurama forced his voice to cut through. Listen to me. If you charge blindly, they'll kill her before you reach her. You need precision. Control. Naruto's breath came fast. But if I wait, trust me for once. Kurama barked. Channel my chakra, but not all at once. Focus it like she focuses her wind. Together, we'll cut those chains. Naruto gritted his teeth. Alright, let's do it. The rescue. Kurama's chakra surged around Naruto, but instead of exploding outward, it condensed into razor-sharp extensions, like glowing claws. Naruto sprinted forward, weaving through enemies with terrifying speed. He slashed through the chains binding Temari, shattering them one by one. With the last strike, he caught her in his arms before she fell. Her wide eyes met his. You controlled it. Naruto smirked, panting hard. Told you, you keep me grounded. Temari's face flushed, but there was no time to answer. The masked leader roared in frustration, retreating once more into the storm, leaving only chaos in his wake. Aftermath and unspoken words. When the battle cleared, Naruto and Temari stood alone amidst the wreckage. Both were bruised and battered, but alive. Temari leaned against him, her voice barely above a whisper. You really meant it, didn't you? When you said you couldn't lose me. Naruto froze, his heart hammering. He opened his mouth, but before he could speak, she rested her head against his shoulder, closing her eyes. Don't answer now, she murmured. Just stay. And he did. Inside, Kurama rumbled quietly, for once almost gentle. This bond, it's no weakness, brat. It's your strength. Guard it with your life. Naruto nodded silently, holding her close as the desert wind howled around them. 9/24, 12:52 p.m., Vivavat, Desert Pursuit. The storm had barely cleared when Naruto felt it, an echo of chakra lingering in the sand. "They're still here," he muttered, setting Temari gently on her feet. She steadied herself, gripping her fan. "Then they're watching, waiting for us to move." Kurama growled. "They're hunting you like prey, brat. And her, she's the bait." Naruto clenched his fists, eyes hard. "Then we flip the game. We hunt them." Temari smirked despite her exhaustion. "Now you're starting to sound like me. Laying the trap." That night, they set a false camp. Fire, tracks in the sand, even Naruto's clone snoring loudly. Temari perched high on a dune, fan ready, while Naruto and Kurama waited beneath the surface, chakra masked. Hours passed. Then, movement. Black-cloaked shinobi emerged silently, circling the fake camp. The masked leader strode into the center, scroll glowing faintly. "The Jinchuriki sleeps," he hissed. "Bind him, now." Chains lashed out toward the clone. In an instant, the sand beneath them exploded. "Gotcha!" Naruto roared, erupting upward in a blaze of chakra. Temari's fan whipped through the air, sending slicing gusts that shredded the enemy formation. Coordinated assault. But the enemy had expected resistance. A second squad appeared from behind, surrounding Temari on her dune. She spun her fan, whipping up a whirlwind, but their seals glowed, absorbing her wind. "What the?" she gasped. Kurama snarled inside Naruto. "They've developed counters for her. Brat, move." Naruto shot forward, chakra cloak flaring, smashing through the seals before they could drain Temari completely. He caught her as she stumbled. "Don't scare me like that," he said fiercely. Temari panted, but her smirk returned. "I had it under control." "Yeah, sure you did." Enemy's desperation. The masked leader raised his cracked scroll high, pouring his chakra into it. The desert itself trembled as sealing patterns spread across the sand, glowing crimson. Kurama cursed. "This isn't a simple binding anymore. He's trying to summon something to hold me permanently." Naruto gritted his teeth. "Then we break it before he finishes." Temari stepped beside him, fan open wide. Together, Naruto nodded, Kurama's chakra flaring around them both. Fusion technique. Temari unleashed her wind scythe jutsu, a hurricane spiraling toward the ceiling circle. At the same time, Naruto focused Kurama's chakra into compressed spheres of raw energy, hurling them into the gale. The wind caught the orbs, amplifying them into blazing vortexes of fire and lightning that tore through the desert, ripping the ceiling symbols apart. The explosion lit the night sky like dawn. The masked leader screamed, clutching his scroll as it cracked further, shards of energy bursting free. "You will not win. The 9 tails will be mine." Kurama's counterstrike. Inside, Kurama's patience snapped. "You think you can bind me again? Try it, insect." For the first time, Kurama projected his chakra not just through Naruto, but outward, manifesting as a spectral fox head looming over the battlefield. Its eyes glowed like suns, its roar scattering enemies like leaves in a storm. Temari shielded her face from the gale, staring in awe. Is that really him?" Naruto grinned fiercely. "Yeah, that's Kurama." Kurama's voice boomed, shaking the desert. "Touch what is mine again, and I'll reduce you to dust." The masked shinobi faltered, fear flickering for the first time. Retreat and vow. The enemy scrambled back, dragging their leader with them. The cracked scroll fizzled, unable to hold its form. Before vanishing into the dunes, the masked leader spat his final threat. "You cannot protect her forever, Jinchuriki. Bonds make you weak, and weakness will be your undoing." Naruto's glare burned as the enemies disappeared. "We'll prove you wrong," Kurama rumbled. "He's not entirely wrong, brat. Bonds can be exploited, but they can also be shields stronger than any seal." Naruto glanced at Temari, who was still standing tall beside him despite exhaustion. He smiled softly. "Then let's make ours unbreakable." Quiet confession. Later, at a safer ridge, they collapsed side by side, staring up at the stars. Temari's voice was quiet, almost hesitant. "You really believe that?" That our bond is unbreakable. Naruto turned to her, eyes shining with determination. I don't just believe it. I know it, because you've saved me more times than I can count. And I'll keep saving you, no matter what. Her lips parted slightly, caught off guard by the raw honesty. Kurama, unusually gentle, added softly inside. Tell her, brat. She deserves to know. Naruto swallowed hard. Temari, I think I. But before he could finish, she pressed a finger to his lips, her cheeks faintly pink. Not now, she whispered. When this is over, then you can say it. Naruto blinked, then smiled. Deal. Final Part 2 cliffhanger. Far across the desert, the masked leader knelt again in the cavern, battered and trembling. A deeper shadow loomed behind him, a voice like ice cutting the air. You failed again. My lord, the leader stammered, their bond grows too strong. The Nine Tails has even manifested beyond its vessel. The shadow's eyes gleamed crimson. Then we change tactics. We do not attack the fox. We take the girl, break her spirit, shatter their trust. The leader bowed low. Yes, master. The cavern echoed with cruel laughter, sealing the fate of the bond that had only just begun. 9/24, 12:54 p.m. Vivavat. Ambush at dawn. The desert sunrise painted the sky crimson and gold, but Naruto felt no peace in it. Kurama's senses were restless. They're not done, brat. They'll strike when you least expect it. Quote. Temari, brushing sand from her hair, caught the tension in his eyes. You're thinking too loud again. Naruto forced a grin. Guess I can't hide anything from you. Good, she replied, snapping her fan shut. Because if they want me, they'll have to take me through you. And I know you won't let that happen. Naruto's grin softened into something gentler. Never, but even as the word left his lips, kunai whistled through the air. The kidnappers. Dozens of masked shinobi burst from the dunes, their cloaks now marked with blood-red symbols. Unlike before, they ignored Naruto entirely, charging straight at Temari. Split formation. Their leader barked. The girl is the priority, leave the Jinchuriki. Temari snapped her fan open, blasting the first wave back with slicing gales. But more rushed her from the flanks, seals glowing to suppress her chakra. Naruto's rage exploded. Like hell you will. Kurama's chakra flared, tails whipping behind him as he dove into the horde. Each strike was devastating, clones bursting forth to overwhelm the attackers. But for every one he cut down, two more closed in on Temari. Temari's capture. Temari fought fiercely, sweat glistening on her brow as her fan carved through seals and steel alike. But one shinobi slipped past her guard, a chain glowing with suppression seals wrapping around her arm. She gasped, chakra flickering. Naruto turned just in time to see her dragged to the ground. Temari. He rushed forward, but the leader anticipated it. A massive barrier erupted between them, fueled by dozens of linked seals. Naruto's fist slammed into it, shaking the desert, but it held. Kurama roared inside. They're cutting you off from her. Break it, now. Naruto's eyes burned red with fury. If you think you can take her away from me, you're dead wrong. Quote. Breaking the barrier. The masked shinobi sneered. Jinchuriki, your rage makes you sloppy. Bonds are chains. Chains are weaknesses. Naruto's reply was a guttural growl as he drew on Kurama's full chakra cloak, tails whipping violently. He formed a Rasengan, but not the usual one. Kurama's chakra swirled into it, fangs of red energy spiraling outward. Kurama Rasengan. He smashed it into the barrier. The desert cracked, dunes collapsing, and the seals shattered like glass. The masked shinobi screamed as the shockwave sent them flying. Naruto sprinted through the wreckage, catching Temari as she struggled against the sealing chains. You okay? He panted. She smirked faintly, though her arms trembled. Better now. Kurama's warning. But even as Naruto ripped the seals away, Kurama's voice darkened. Brat, this isn't over. They don't want to win. They want to plant doubt. Naruto frowned. Doubt. Quote. They'll keep coming for her. And one day, they might succeed. If you hesitate, if she hesitates, even once. Temari caught his gaze. What's he saying? Naruto hesitated, then answered honestly. That they'll never stop. That you're their target now. Because they think taking you will break me. Her expression hardened. Then they're right about one thing. If I fall, it will break you. So I won't fall. Not ever. Bond forged in battle. The remaining shinobi regrouped, bloodied but unyielding. Again, the leader snarled. This time, Naruto and Temari stood back to back. Kurama's chakra cloaked them both, threads of fiery red weaving into Temari's wind chakra. Ready? Naruto asked. Temari snapped her fan open, eyes blazing. Let's show them what happens when you mess with us. Together, they unleashed a combined jutsu. Naruto hurled a spinning Rasengan infused with Kurama's fire, while Temari's fan whipped the flames into a colossal tornado. The desert was consumed in a storm of blazing wind, shredding the enemy ranks. When the smoke cleared, only silence remained. Aftermath. Naruto's chakra cloak dimmed as he caught Temari before she could collapse. She leaned into him, breathing heavily. You really don't do anything halfway, do you? She murmured. He chuckled softly. Neither do you. For a long moment, they just sat there, the desert wind carrying away the stench of battle. Kurama's voice broke the silence. Brat, you'd better realize something. You're not just fighting for yourself anymore. If she falls, so do you. That bond, it's both your shield and your sword. Guard it well. Quote. Naruto nodded silently, looking down at Temari's face as she drifted into exhausted sleep against his shoulder. I will, he whispered. I promise. Enemy's next step. Far away, deep within the cavern, the shadowy master listened to his servant's report of failure. So, even chains and seals could not break them. The masked leader knelt, trembling. Their bond grows stronger with every battle. The Nine Tails even shared his chakra with the girl. The master's eyes glowed with malice. Then we will corrupt the bond itself. If we cannot shatter it from the outside, we will rot it from within. A cruel smile curved his lips. Send the next phase. The girl will choose, betray the Jinchuriki, or be destroyed with him. Quote. The cavern echoed with the sound of chains rattling in the dark. 9/24, 12:55 p.m., Vivavat. What if Naruto fell in love with Temari and even the Nine Tails? Part 2, continuation. The quiet before the storm. Night had fallen again over the desert. A campfire crackled softly, throwing long shadows across the dunes. Naruto sat beside Temari, who was wrapped in a thin cloak, her head resting against his shoulder. Kurama's presence pulsed quietly inside him, but Naruto could sense something uneasy beneath the fox's silence. You're awfully quiet, Naruto whispered. Something's wrong. The enemy isn't just brute force. They've shifted tactics, and this time, they'll go for her heart. Naruto frowned. Her heart, Kurama growled. Not to love it, brat, to poison it. Temari's dream. That night, Temari slept restlessly. Shadows wrapped her mind, twisting into familiar voices. You think you matter to him? Whispered one. You're just a distraction, a foreigner, a burden. She turned in the dream, clutching her fan, but it dissolved into smoke. Chains coiled around her wrists, the same sealing chains from before. Then Naruto appeared before her, but his eyes glowed cold red, cruel and distant. Temari, he said, his voice hollow. You're too weak. If you stay, you'll only hold me back. She tried to protest, but her voice wouldn't come. Darkness closed in. The awakening. Temari. Naruto shook her awake. She bolted upright, gasping, sweat dripping down her face. You were thrashing, he said, worried. What happened? Temari forced a laugh, though her hands trembled. Just a dream. But Kurama's growl echoed in Naruto's head. Not a dream. They reached her. They've planted seeds of doubt. Quote. Naruto's fists clenched. They won't take her from me. Not like this. Temari caught the determination in his eyes and felt a pang of guilt. She wanted to tell him the dream, but part of her feared it was true. The whispering shadows. Over the next few days, Temari felt it everywhere. In the wind that usually guided her, whispers seemed to follow. Sans pride, yet you kneel beside Konoha's hero. You're strong, but never strong enough for him. He belongs to the fox. Not to you. She fought to ignore them, but the more she denied it, the louder they grew. Naruto noticed her silence, her hesitation in battle, the way she sometimes looked at him with fear she quickly masked. It cut him deeper than any kunai. The fracture. One evening, as they scouted near a canyon, Temari finally snapped. "Why me, Naruto?" she demanded suddenly. He blinked. "What? Why me? Out of everyone, you're the Jinchuriki, the hero of Konoha, the one everyone talks about. And me, I'm just, the Kazekige's sister with a fan." Naruto stepped closer. "Don't say that. You're not, just, anything. You're strong, smart, fearless. But not enough," she cried, pulling away. Her voice shook. "I see how they look at you. Like you're destined for something greater, something I'll never be able to keep up with." Naruto's heart ached. He wanted to hold her, but Kurama's warning echoed. "They've poisoned her. This isn't all her, don't let her break." Naruto's answer. He grabbed her shoulders firmly. "Temari, listen to me. You think you're just someone's sister. Someone standing in my shadow. You're wrong." Quote. His voice trembled but never broke. "You're the one who challenges me. Who doesn't let me get away with being stupid. Who fights by my side when everyone else steps back. You make me stronger, not weaker. You're not my shadow, you're my partner." Temari's eyes widened, tears threatening. "And if you think I chose you because you're less than anyone else, then you don't know me at all. I chose you because you're you. And nothing they say can change that." Kurama's intervention. For a rare moment, Kurama spoke not in anger, but in calm certainty. "He means it, girl. I've seen him fight gods. I've seen him face death 100 times over. But the one thing that never wavers is his heart. If he says you are his, then you are. Believe it, or you'll hand our enemies exactly what they want." Temari looked between Naruto and the crimson aura flickering faintly in his eyes. Both fox and human were united in their truth. Her hands clenched into fists, and finally, she nodded. "Then let them come. I'll never doubt again." The return of the enemy. As if summoned by her resolve, the canyon shook. Figures cloaked in red symbols emerged from the shadows, surrounding them. This time, the leader didn't sneer or taunt. He simply lifted a hand. "The bond resists, so we will break it in blood." Dozens of kunai rained down, infused with sealing tags. Temari snapped her fan open, gusts scattering the storm, while Naruto summoned a dozen clones to counterattack. Kurama surged forth, wrapping Naruto in a blazing cloak. "No more holding back. We fight as one." Quote. Naruto grinned fiercely. "You hear that, Temari? Time to show them what happens when you mess with us." "About time," she smirked. Together, they launched forward, love, trust, and raw power against the encroaching dark. 9/24, 12:56 p.m., Vivavat, the canyon battle. The canyon roared with the clash of steel, chakra, and wind. Naruto's clones surged forward, scattering kunai and detonating explosive tags mid-air. Temari's fan sliced through the sky, tearing apart squads of enemies with razor gusts. But this wasn't like the desert ambush. The masked leader had come prepared. His hands blurred through seals, summoning a monstrous construct of chakra, a towering golem etched with crimson symbols, its eyes burning like molten stone. "Let's see if your bond can withstand this." The golem stomped down, the canyon trembling as debris rained from above. Temari's resolve. Naruto moved to intercept, but Temari caught his arm. "No, let me." Temari. Her eyes blazed with determination. "You've carried enough on your shoulders. This time, we fight side by side." She leapt forward, her fan glowing with green wind chakra as she poured everything she had into it. Wind release, cyclone devastation. A colossal storm burst from her fan, smashing into the golem and scattering chunks of its body. But its core pulsed crimson, regenerating rapidly. Naruto cursed. "It's feeding on seals." Quote. Kurama's strategy. "Listen, brat," Kurama growled. "Her wind won't be enough alone. That thing's tethered to sealing arrays buried under the canyon. Destroy the arrays, and the golem dies. Naruto's eyes narrowed. Then we'll hit it together. He shouted to Temari. Aim for the core, I'll take care of the seals. Without hesitation, Temari nodded. Go. Breaking the seals. Naruto dove underground with a clone army, Kurama's chakra lighting the tunnels in fiery gold. The seals glowed faintly along the canyon bedrock, pulsing like a heartbeat. Shadow clone formation. Dozens of Naruto swarmed the seals, slamming Rasengan after Rasengan into the earth. Explosions ripped through the canyon floor as the seals shattered one by one. Above, Temari unleashed wave after wave of slicing winds, hammering the golem's core. The beast roared, staggering as its regeneration faltered. The villain's trump card. But the masked leader wasn't finished. He spread his arms wide, blood dripping from his palms. The ground shook as black chains erupted from the canyon walls, twisting together into a monstrous serpent-like form. This is no mere seal, it is a curse. Born of hatred for the Jinchuriki, fueled by his weakness for love. The chains lashed out, coiling toward Temari. Naruto burst from the ground just in time, slamming a Kurama-powered Rasengan into them. Sparks flew as the chains recoiled, but they didn't break. Kurama snarled. These chains, they're forged from tailed beast suppression. Even my chakra can't tear them easily. Naruto and Temari's fusion. Temari landed beside Naruto, panting, her fan cracked at the edge. So what's the plan, genius? Naruto grinned, despite the sweat and blood. Simple. We combine. He pressed a hand to her fan, flooding it with Kurama's burning chakra. The weapon glowed red, the wind chakra twisting with demonic fire until the fan vibrated with unstoppable energy. Temari's eyes widened. This is incredible. Naruto winked. Now let's break some chains. Quote, The final strike. Together, they leapt. Naruto's cloak blazed with multiple tails, while Temari swung her empowered fan with all her strength. Wind release. Inferno cyclone slash. A storm of crimson wind and fire erupted, slicing through the chains as if they were paper. The serpent screamed, shattering into fragments that disintegrated in the air. The golem's core cracked, then exploded in a burst of light, shaking the canyon to its roots. The masked leader staggered, his mask fracturing. For the first time, fear flickered in his eyes. You fused the beast's power with your own, with hers. Naruto landed, catching Temari as she stumbled from exhaustion. His voice was steady, filled with conviction. That's what you'll never understand. We're not weak because of our bond. We're unstoppable because of it. Aftermath. The remaining masked shinobi fled into the shadows, dragging their broken leader with them. The canyon fell silent, save for the crackle of fading fire. Naruto cradled Temari carefully. She looked up at him, weary but smiling. Guess, we make a pretty good team. He laughed softly. The best. Quote, Kurama's deep rumble echoed in both their minds. Not bad at all, but don't get too comfortable. This was only the beginning. Naruto's eyes hardened as he looked out into the dark horizon. Then let them come. As long as we're together, nothing can break us. 9/24, 12:57 p.m., Vivavat, calm after the storm. The canyon lay in ruin. Sand, rock, and shattered seals littered the ground, smoke rising from the fires of battle. Naruto stood over Temari, her breathing shallow but steady, his multiple chakra tails flickering weakly as the adrenaline faded. Temari's fan was cracked and scorched, yet she smiled faintly. We made it. Quote, Naruto knelt beside her, brushing sand from her hair. Yeah, we did. You're incredible, Temari. Her cheeks warmed slightly. So are you, Naruto. Kurama rumbled with pride. They both survived. And stronger than before. Their bond, it's not just love, brat, it's steel. Villain's shadow. But in the distance, a dark silhouette observed the aftermath. The masked leader, bloodied and humiliated, knelt in the sand, the broken shards of his scroll smoldering around him. You may have won this battle, he hissed through clenched teeth. But the war is far from over. A deeper shadow stepped forward, taller, more menacing than the leader himself. Its crimson eyes glinted with malice, radiating a power even Kurama acknowledged as dangerous. You've underestimated me, the shadow said, voice like ice and steel. This world does not allow bonds to exist without trial. Prepare yourselves, Jinchuriki. A moment between battles. Naruto helped Temari to her feet. The weight of the fight, the near loss, and the constant threat of enemy attacks pressed heavily on them, yet they stood together. You know, Temari said softly, leaning on him slightly, I thought, maybe I wasn't strong enough for this. For you, for us. Naruto shook his head, eyes fierce but gentle. Don't ever say that. I don't need someone perfect. I need someone who fights by my side. Someone who doesn't give up. That's why I chose you. Quote, Temari's eyes glistened with unshed tears. And I choose you too, Naruto. Kurama rumbled approvingly. Finally, took you long enough to say it properly, brat. Naruto smiled, brushing his forehead against hers. Then let's make sure nothing can ever break us. The calm before the next storm. The night air was still, but even the stars seemed to watch silently, aware of the battles fought and the greater trials to come. The canyon's silence felt almost sacred, a brief moment of peace. Yet Kurama's voice cut through the calm, grave. This isn't over. They'll return. They will push Temari and you to your limits. And when they do, the choice you make together will define everything. Quote, Naruto's hand tightened around Temari's. Then we'll face them together. Always together. Temari nodded, her resolve mirroring his own. No matter what they throw at us. A bond tested, a bond forged. Part 2 ends with the trio, Naruto, Temari, and Kurama, standing side by side, battered but unbroken. Naruto's determination to protect Temari solidified. Temari's trust and love for Naruto deepened, her fear replaced with resolve. Kurama's pride in their bond highlighted the significance of love, trust, and teamwork. The villain's shadow looms, foreshadowing Part 3, psychological traps, moral choices, and an even deadlier confrontation. The story closes on a moment of fragile peace, a battlefield quieted but hearts still racing, as the desert wind carries whispers of the challenges yet to come. If you enjoy this fanfic, then please like and subscribe my channel Narutofix 11 for more fanfic guys. Thank you.